Welcome to Flawless Shoe Reviews. Today we're comparing the ASICS Gel Nimbus 27 with the Nike Vomero 18, two highly popular max cushion shoes in the market. However, there are some distinct differences between them, which you should know if you're trying to decide between them. So first of all, if we look at the Nimbus 27, well, we've got the FF Blast Eco cushioning in the midsole, which is what we saw in the Nimbus 26, but it's a lot softer, a lot bouncier, a lot springier, and a lot more responsive than we saw in that model. So it's really comfortable on the foot if you use it as a lifestyle shoe. But when it comes to running, it transitions really nicely from the back to the front. We'll touch a little bit more on that as a result of the geometry later, but I just wanted to introduce the React X and the Zoom X cushioning of the Vomero 18, which has had a complete overhaul. So it's got that nice soft React X cushioning in it, so when you apply pressure to it, you sink into it, but it's still quite responsive overall. So you get a nice mix between the two foams, and we've got a 10mm drop in the Vomero 18 with 44mm in the rear foot, 34 in the forefoot, but we've got an 8mm drop in the Nimbus 27 with 43.5 in the rear foot, 35.5 in the forefoot, and they come in relatively similar weights with 307 grams in the Nimbus 27 and 298 grams in the Vomero 18 in a size 9 men's US. So not much difference in the weights, a little bit of difference in the stack and the drop. However, they do feel different as a result of the geometry of the shoe. Now you can see we've got a much more aggressive forefoot rocker in the Nimbus 27, which ensures a nice smooth push through, but we've also got a slightly more aggressive heel bevel on the Nimbus 27, and that ensures a really quick transition from the back to the front of the shoe. Because of the higher drop and the less aggressive forefoot rock on the Vomero 18, I didn't feel that it transitions through as nicely, and you can feel the forefoot a little bit more prominently, so if you have sensitivity around there, you may not enjoy it, even though there's lots of padding underneath the shoe. In addition to that, you've got a very rigid forefoot in the Nimbus 27, so that's great if you've got sensitivity there, or you've got issues with hallux rigidus, hallux limitus, whereas you've got a little bit more flex in the Vomero 18 in the forefoot. So those of you who enjoy that, it's important to be aware of. And as we move up the shoe, we've got a little bit more space in the toe box in the Nimbus 27, which comes in a wide version as well, whereas we've got a little bit more tapering of the toe box in the Vomero 18 compared to the Nimbus 27. So just something to be aware of if you've got a broader foot. You got a nice single engineered mesh on top that's quite thin on the Nimbus 27. You got a little bit more plush of an upper on the Vomero 18. When it comes to tongues, they're completely different as well. We've got a nice loop around the tongue on the Nimbus 27 that's gusseted and really thin cloth, whereas you've got a nice padded cushion tongue on the Vomero 18, which is probably a little bit excessive and not needed, but it does help with the lockdown, and you've got a gusseted tongue in there as well. We've got exceptional padding on the Nimbus 27 with a nice external heel collar, so that really helps with the lockdown of the shoe. Once you put your ankle inside, it really feels locked in before you tie the laces. You've got plenty of padding around the Vomero 18 as well, just not as much as what we see in the Nimbus, with a nice pull-on tag as well. So when we think about the two shoes for lifestyle use, they're both excellent and comfortable for day-to-day standing, walking for long periods of time, or if you want to use them as a walking shoe. But when it comes to running, personally I think they're a little bit different. So they're similar weight, 8mm drop in the Nimbus, 10mm in the Vomero. I think the Nimbus 27 is just a little bit better of an all-rounder because it transitions quicker from the back to the front, a little bit bouncier, a little bit more responsive than the Vomero 18, which is still an excellent shoe. But for us, for quicker workouts, for more up-tempo workouts, the Nimbus 27 is just a little bit better. Whereas if you're a big Nike fan, the Vomero 18 is still an excellent option, can still cover all the bases that the Nimbus 27 can, but personally it's just not as responsive and just not as fun to run in as the Nimbus 27. However, if you've got any opinions on it, please drop them in the comment section below. Got links to both shoes in the description if you want to check out the latest prices on Amazon. Otherwise, if you just found the video helpful or interesting, like and share and subscribe, it makes a massive difference.